My name is Al Butler, and I brought to you Water for Life Guatemala, a foundation that's created in Spokane, Washington. They're dedicated to drilling water wells for poorer communities in northern Guatemala. I got involved in Water for Life because I recognized it as being a very worthwhile organization, and 98% of the funds that's raised go into the construction of water wells. Labor and administration is volunteer. Those that administer and deal with the government have some travel expenses, but otherwise it all goes into materials for constructing a water well and a water system, delivering fresh water to the people in these poor Guatemala communities. This organization can drill a water well and install a water system for $9,000 to $12,000, whereas in Snohomish County, for instance, that same installation would cost somewhere around $35,000. The first thing that is needed for well construction is buying equipment, as you see in this slide. There's two different kinds of casing, steel casing and PVC, and then having a drill rig and transporting all of this for 100 plus miles to the project location over roads that are perilous, to say the very least. When they get to the job site, the villagers pitch in to help set the equipment up. Drillers oftentimes stay with villagers, and they make sure that they get food and bedding during the week to a week and a half that it takes to construct a water well. The drilling goes to a depth of about 130 to 180 feet. A lot of these villages don't have a power supply, and oftentimes part of the package is contributing a solar panel to run a submersible pump. But once the pump is fired up and water comes, sometimes the villagers will come and enjoy a quick shower. The drill rig is removed and the pump truck is brought in, and they set 1 inch to 1.25 inches PVC with the hand pump on top. From that time on, the villagers are very involved and excited. So the next step is party time. The villagers all gather on a special day to dedicate the pump. The location of the well is not picked by the drilling foundation. It's picked by the Ministry of Health, which is part of the federal government of Guatemala. They decide what village will get the well. Oftentimes, it's a village that has a clinic that some foundation has built for them. This health clinic exists for long periods of time before they have fresh water of any kind. So they end up having to truck water in, carry it by hand sometimes, and then boil it in order to use for the clinical activities. Festivities sometimes take place for a day and a half, 2 days. People have to take their turns pumping water, and part of the celebration is singing of songs and playing instruments and filling up water vessels, mostly ceramic clay pots, and carrying them to their home site. Then the celebration moves into the final stages. They're part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and they have purchased Spanish translated Bibles that they distribute out to kids and adults. Young kids get to do Bible study, very similar to our vacation Bible school. One of the big reasons for celebration in these small communities is the fact that the kids, the toddlers, the young teens have fresh water to drink. Because the adults are drinking contaminated water, they become infected. So at birth, the mother is infected, but the adults can adapt. The body adapts to the bacteria, and they go on with a relatively normal life. But the infants, when they're born, if they're nursing or drinking formula that's mixed with contaminated water, they're subject to the bacterial infections, and the infant mortality rate somewhere is close to 60% throughout all these villages. That is tremendously high. So they celebrate the surviving toddlers and teenagers and try to take the advantage of foundations like Water for Life to come and drill a water well to supply them with fresh water. And that's all through donations like all of you who have put quarters and nickels and dimes and dollars into our collection jar. The well last year, we sent $9,000 that constructed a well and put in a water system. Your donations go a long ways into supplying all the materials and fuels and repairs that go into constructing and maintaining a water well. Thank you very much. And the people of Guatemala, thank you.